Hi, I'm Daniel Sturridge, and you're watching Redmen TV.
Jack, that was just... I almost don't have the words to describe how boring that game was.
No, flat seems to have been a word that's come up far too often this season, but it did. It took me right back to the Newcastle game at St James's, where there just wasn't really much happening for us. We didn't look like we had what it took to pass our way through the lines, and not often enough did we look like we were trying to force the issue in a different way, really, which was disappointing to see. I don't think it was nearly as bad as a lot of the performances we did put in earlier in the season. The one it particularly reminds me of, I think it was early December, Sunderland came to Anfield. I think it was the Anfield game where I actually just thought that Sunderland really did a job on us and just sat back, got the draw. I felt a bit about, we've got to give West Brom a bit of credit, really. It's not a nice way to play football, but they did it. They stayed organised and we couldn't get through. Even when there were instances where we were in the box and looking like we had snatched opportunities, they had bodies there, and that's what made it difficult. They were desperate chances with flailing legs everywhere because of the numbers they had back there covering.
It was classic Pulis in many respects, and the good thing that we did dominate it. It weren't like we were they battered us, which is worse, I suppose. But it's the same old story in those games, not having the cutting edge required to get us across the line.
I just wanted to see some runners, really. I know at half-time a few of us were talking about getting Markovic on the pitch. I'd like to have seen that, really.
Just taking to Googling pictures of Linford Christie instead.
Or, we had Sterling and Johnson in the past as run-up players. Ibe was on the pitch, but none of them really felt... The threat of taking somebody on wasn't even there. I think even if Markovic had come on, it wasn't even having to deliver on that. Having that threat that we could go either way in this move would have helped and would have had the doubt in the West Brom minds a little bit.
Nice one, Jack.
Question then, ultimately, do you still believe in the plan?
Yeah, but if there's an opportunity to push us further along the plan, I would take the opportunity.
What would that?
The plan that I believe in is I believe the model that we've got under FSG is correct. I believe at the moment we've got a manager who can see out that. But if we can get someone who is a bigger name in Europe, more experienced, and a better manager, then we're Liverpool Football Club, and we should always strive to improve.